Hi guys, I wanted to make a couple of announcements before I get into today's vlog. So my first one is if any of you are free on Wednesday from 3 until 4 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing another awkward social anxiety interview with Johnny from his channel Mega Swiss Watch. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I know that he has actually removed his social anxiety vlog, so it'll be interesting to get to know him and see kind of why he did that and just kind of get to know him a bit better as a person, because I know that he's actually pretty well known in the social anxiety community here on YouTube. And my second announcement is actually pretty exciting as well. And I am planning to do an interview with one of my great friends, Mary, and she is actually a registered pharmacist. So I think I'm providing you guys with a really excellent opportunity here. So if you've ever had any questions concerning medication in relation to mental illness, now is the time to ask. So feel free to leave your questions down below. Or if you are more comfortable, feel free to private message me or inbox me your questions. I'm going to accumulate them all, then give them to her so she can prepare herself. So we're aiming for in a couple of weeks from now to do a live interview together, and she will be able to address all of your questions. Alright, so as for today's video, this one is a pretty difficult video for me to do because I'm really opening up with you guys. But I decided as I'm gaining more subscribers and getting out there on YouTube, I really want to open up more. Since you guys are giving yourselves to me, I want to be able to do the same. So today's video is basically going to be about my backstory and outlining my main trigger event which I feel unlocked a lot of my mental illness in terms of both depression and social anxiety, and even a little bit of body dysmorphic disorder as well, which I used to struggle with quite a bit. So what happened to me is that there was a really hard divorce in my family going back a few years. Both my parents split up, and it was done by my father in an unfaithful fashion, so it was a very hard and messy divorce. You feel sometimes like when you're in your 20s that your parents are invincible and that the relationship's going to last forever, so it really blew me out of the water and surprised me when they ended up divorcing, and in such a messy and disturbing way. So that divorce actually provoked a lot of abandonment issues for me, which I will definitely elaborate on in the future. It made me feel really badly about myself. So if you think about it, if you have abandonment issues, when you're reflecting on yourself, you don't feel very good. You feel like people are going to leave your life and that you don't matter and that you're not that attractive and you're not that great. Because a lot of people have recently been bringing up to me, I consider you attractive. Why do you have these kinds of issues? Well, honestly, guys, it's a mental thing, 100% a mental thing. And sometimes when you have a really strong genetic predisposition to something, like in my case, in my family, both on my dad's side and my mom's side, mental illness through and through. And so I was not surprised when I started noticing these symptoms myself. And sometimes all you need is that one trigger, and then everything is unlocked. And then you start to struggle yourself with these same problems that a lot of my other family members have struggled with. So what happened to me is I went through a phase where I was binge drinking a lot. I had a big alcohol problem for a while, and I was also smoking weed 7 on 7 days at one point, and I became a destroyer of relationships just like my father. Instead of going the opposite way, I became like him, and I became an unfaithful person. And honestly, my anthem, so to say, at that time in my life was the song called Trust by Megadeth, which I will actually link down below so you guys can listen to me in my angsty time and what I was like back then. And so during that time, I also ended up dropping out of university. And I just wanted to let you guys know I used to be an amazing student. When I was in high school, I got excellent grades. I actually received 2 awards for being top in both biology and mathematics, which to me was an amazing accomplishment. I did very well in CEGEP, which is also known as college for a lot of you. My grades are great, so it enabled me to right away make it into my first choice program, which was biology at McGill University. And it's a pretty well-known university here in Canada, so I was very proud of myself for getting into that. And then my grades started to plummet. I failed so many classes, I completely just dropped out of university. So then in time, what happened is I started to pick myself back up slowly. I got a job, which I'm still at now, so it's able to keep me social. I socialize with a lot of people regularly in my job. And I met a man I wanted to change for during this time as well. And of course, change comes from within. I wanted to change for myself as well. But sometimes you meet someone that, without them even having to say something, it makes you want to change. It doesn't have to be a significant other. It can just be a friend or someone that you really value in your life that makes you want to change for them and for yourself. So that happened to me. I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years now, 3 years unofficially. You know, relationships are complicated, but it's been great and it's helped me a lot in my life. Then I also underwent therapy for 1 whole year. And for some of you, you might think that therapy for 1 year is not a really long amount of time. But if you immerse yourself into it, it can change your life so much. I took it so seriously, like a course in school, and just threw myself into it full force. So I was able to get the results I wanted. I mean, if you think about it, there's those shows like Biggest Loser, Extreme Weight Loss, those kind of shows where the person just changes their whole body in a year, right? They're able to lose hundreds of pounds. I felt like I lost pounds and pounds and pounds of emotional weight I was carrying on myself. So I was able to do that for myself. I also completely cut out weed from my life. It was not doing me any good, and I limited my alcohol a lot. I mean, there's some times where I will go a bit overboard, but for the most part, I've really controlled that in my life because I know that the more I drink, the more I become depressed and the more I fall back into my old patterns, and I do not want to be like that at all. And I also made the return to university, so I was able to pick myself back up and continue on down that path to a successful career. So the reason I'm bringing all this up is, first of all, because I've noticed I've had a lot of new subscribers jumping on board, so thank you all for joining me. So I felt like I should really open myself up, like I said at the beginning of my video. And the other thing is because a big date is coming up for me. On Saturday, August 9th, I'll be seeing my father for the first time in years. It doesn't have to do with legal battles or animosity or anything of the sort. This is to sit down with him and my brother and talk. And as I say that now, I feel so many emotions. I feel sadness, I feel fear, I feel anxiety, and I would like to make a video on how I'm coping with all those things in the future, but for now, this is where I'm at, and this is big. So I would really appreciate if you guys would wish me luck on this because it is a very big step for me to be taking. So if any of my new subscribers want to chime in and comment down below, provide the questions for my next interviews, or just say hello, that would be amazing. And of course, all my loyal subscribers as well who have been sticking with me for a long time, it would be great to hear from you guys as well because I always like to get comments from you guys and some feedback as well. So anyways, that is all for today, my precious gems. Thank you so much for listening, and I will be talking to you all very soon. Thank you guys. Goodbye.